Here, the Oman and Qatar, they are not allowing IFRS SME. IFRS SME is a short version of the full IFRS. Oman and Qatar, they're not allowing this, but other part of the world, they already allowed this. We left only 10 minutes, so we'll try to close the today's session. Then we'll discuss the question answer session. Let's see the next slide. Now the financial statement here, we sharing the reference ministerial decision 114 of 2023, in which they mention the accounting standard method that we are discussing accrual basis or cash basis, and the preparation and maintaining the audited financial statement that we are discussing. If revenue is less than 50 million, so you don't have to prepare the financial statement, but if the revenue is more than 50 million, you have to prepare the audited financial statement. And as a part of the record keeping, we have to keep 7 years from the end of the first tax period, the record for the taxation purpose. And here is the important part, or the important understanding I want to highlight. Here, when we mention the 7 year from the end of first tax period, so normally we understand the 8 year roughly, we can say. But the another important or critical part during the VAT, okay, because FTA, they have the resources, but still the market is a big and the client is big, many taxpayers are there. In terms of VAT, when we are discussing being a professional or consultant together, so we come to know the FTA in sending the audit query, they're raising the audit, because some industries, to control that industry or to be seen the compliance in that industry, if the tax, let's say if the as part of the VAT is a 5 year, we can revalidate is the record keeping in the 5 year from end of first tax period. So if your tax period is ending and FTA is knowing, okay, they cannot complete the audit of the such industry or such segment, or the, because based on revenue or other factor, they are taking the sample. So they're saying, okay, then after couple of months, after 6 months, 8 months, there is no possibility to conduct the audit, to raise the audit query to these companies. So they will raise the audit, although they will not start. Now they raise the ticket for the audit. They will send the notification to that company. So this is the important factor. The law is saying if they already audit tickets or audit query is raised for you, then that year will be continue, even you pass the 5 year, because the query is the ticket is raised within 5 year or within the 7 year. So FTA within the law, they come on certain part where they have to do the audit, so they might raise the audit, but it might not start it. If as a part of the professional, many professional, you check with them also, the most of the client, they receive the audit query tickets, but as of now, audit is not started. But now that year will remain liable for the under the audit. This is one of the important part for better understanding. So now here we are saying is audit mandatory for all entities. We already seen, but just we are refining the same discussion that we already have it in the form of flow chart. Is mandatory for all entities, accounting standard, full IFRS or SME IFRS. Hope you have the idea that what we are discussed. Then the cash basis or accrual basis accounting, for which business is applicable or which business is not applicable. Hope we already discussed this. Here the summarized view. Okay. So here the audited financial statement, we mentioned the Article 54 of the city law and the ministerial decision 82 of 2023. You might go and read that article. You will have the understanding, because now you have overall framework. You can go and go through that article, relevant article. But I appreciate if you spend at least 10 to 15 minutes, the article that what we are mentioning, or even mostly we are mentioning the clause also. The ministerial decision article 54. So you don't have to read the full ministerial decision. Just go through, please, the article, because we already mentioned the relevant article of the city law. At least continue that relevant topic that you will understand as part of our the training. You don't have to spend the full time, spend the 20 minutes, 15 minutes and read that relevant article. So here we already seen the revenue greater than 50 million during the tax period. Tax period is accounting period. So this is a mandatory. And a qualifying free zone is a mandatory. Here we mentioned a qualifying free zone person, because maybe some person free zone, again as part of free zone it will remain applicable, but FTA saying if even the free zone company they can opt to the normal taxation, that is 9%, then our requirement will not be mandatory if the revenue threshold is less than 50 million. And as well as if the qualifying free zone person cannot be part of the tax group. If you want to be part of the tax group in the UAE other business, then you have to go for the standard taxation. Here we mentioned audit is mandatory. Our timeline about to finish, but we might take another 5 minutes. I just wish to complete this slide. Basis of accounting, because this slide we already discussed. Basis of accounting revenue up to 50 million in a tax period. Revenue, the basis of accounting period, we go for accrual or cash based on what condition, that revenue condition we are saying. So if our revenue up to 3 million in a tax period, so we can go for accrual. We can go for accrual automatically in return. It will be shown the accrual. But still the option is there. You can opt the cash basis under this if your revenue less than 3 million. If the revenue is more than 3 million, then you have to go for the accrual basis. So here the word is used, the election. Election is required. Because in the first return, there is a number of election is required. What is the election? You have to choose one option. You want to go for accrual basis. We seen the return. You tick this box. Or if you go for the cash basis, you tick for that. So why we do that? Because if we opt in the first return, it cannot be changed in the later on, except the third 1 or 2 election that you can change, but other election you cannot change. So be rational and do the analysis while opting the election and while doing the first return preparation. Understand the election part is important. Election, you have to choose one, accrual or cash. Here, if you opt for the cash, later on you can give some exceptional circumstances and submit the application to FTA. You can go for the accrual basis also. But the revenue is more than 3 million. We already seen the accrual basis. Only this option we will go. Now, accounting standard, optional. IFRS for SME is an option, but still you can go for full IFRS. If the revenue is less than 50 million, you have the option, you can choose the IFRS SME or the full. If revenue is more than 50 million, then you by default you have to go full IFRS. Mandatory requirement is the revenue is more than 50 million. If mandatory, it's not optional. We will end up today's session up to this slide, and now we'll see the chat, and if you have the queries for that, we will take the queries. We'll try to answer that whatever the possible, but we appreciate if you have the question from the relevant topic, because we are discussing that relevant topic, that this is the most important for understanding. Now please, I'm open for the question. Share the question. I'll try to answer on that. There is one question. Arsalan would be tested in the corporate tax or limited one. Uh, we just now is discussed in detail IFRS. The condition we just discussed the condition. If the condition is less than revenue is less than 15 million, it's not mandatory to opt for the IFRS. Sorry, the full IFRS. You can opt for the small IFRS. That we can say the short version of IFRS, but based on the revenue. In terms of tested, see your return cannot be prepared if your return cannot be accurate. You can prepare, but it cannot be accurate because FTA is saying your accounting treatment as per the applicable IFRS. So first you have to see, and then you accordingly you have to prepare. So next is kindly in the legal person also discuss about the benchmark for the owner benefit. See, here we already discussed in the benchmark. See, in terms of the benchmark, we already discussed the industry norms based on the industry size. There is no hard and fast rule. They from the Federal Tax Authority or the Ministry of Finance, there is a guideline arm length. Now there is no standard benchmark because the standard benchmark from the industry we have to take. Earlier, I give the example for that because the directors are honored. Even today, I try to explain on that also. If the company turnover is the 100 million, yes, the honor benefit can be comparatively higher. But if the company or the business turnover is 30 million, and you cannot give the same benefit or the salary and wages that you are giving while the company turnover is 100 million. So now the size of that business is get adjusted. So accordingly, you have to adjust that part also. Okay, next, Mr. Istakar, I can make you the host for that. Hope you are already running the online recording also. Now I'll take the another question. Special treatment for GCC based companies. See, there is no special treatment for GCC based companies as of now. But in terms of future, they might give some clarification on the such area. But as of now, there is no things are there. See, in terms of the GCC, you seen in, if I give you the example, Saudi, the corporate tax is 20%. So, but in UAE is 9% for the SME, except if we not talk about the MNE. So the double tax agreement will be there based on the double tax treaty or the agreement. You will, if you are paying more than 9%, like let's say the Saudi example, if you're paying the 20%, here you will do just as a part of compliance because you already paid the 20%. On the same compliance, you will pay, okay, 9% is this. Then you will mention, okay, I paid 20%. So that will be higher. Then you will pay zero taxation over here. The similar, if the Saudi, if company operating here, and but they are reporting in the Saudi also. So what they will say, okay, the 9% you already paid as a part of double tax treaty agreement, you will take the benefit for the 9%. Balance 11% you have to pay over there. Okay, so again, okay, Arslan, all the other will be tested or just basic one. See here, IS will be tested or basic one IS 86. No, here the all the see they did not mention the basic one. When we talk about the IFRS, all the standards, only the IFRS SME, the full IFRS will not applicable, and maybe some couple of standard is not fall under IFRS SME also. That we have to see under that which are the part of the SME IFRS also. From that perspective, we can discuss and understand, okay, these are the applicable, but we cannot count or limit, okay, 15, 16, 70 will be applicable. We are saying the 15, 16 are they are fully not applicable. If you just download, search on Google IFRS SME, you will find that IFRS. You will take that information from there. There is another, it's the Bukhari. Instead of entertainment expenses, if use food allowance, okay. Yes, if it is for employees, 100% deductible. If it is, but if except employee, if employee is 100% deductible, but if is a corporate or the stakeholders, other stakeholders, owners, vendors, customers, then is it, because that have the private element also, that you will deduct 50% only. For employees, 100% you can deduct the entertainment expenses. If our company revenue is Hamza Tufail, if our company revenue is a 3 million in financial statement, so it is required to do an audit of the no, here I mentioned already, if your revenue is less than 50 million and you are mainland company, here's the two important part that you have to understand. Revenue is less than 50 million and you are mainland company, not a free zone company, there is no mandatory requirement for audit. The Rizwan is there. What if it is sole establishment owned by wife and husband, and if employee is there any restriction on salary? See, in the sole establishment, we already discussed this is the unincorporated business, and we very detailed understand unincorporated business salaries and wages are not deductible from the taxable point of view. 100% will be disallowed. In the sole establishment, the 100% salaries and wages of the owners and the husband and wife, the connected person definition will be still there, is disallowed. Only the employee's salary will be deductible. See, now another part is coming from Shahab Farid. A person with sole establishment, unincorporated business, with the accumulated income is less than what will be city requirement. Okay, now we are saying the 1 million relief for the natural person will be available. So they don't have to go apply for the corporate tax registration. 1 million relief, but you have to be sure that if your revenue calculation is correct, because if you do the mistake, so then you will later on get some penalty also. If you are sure, yes, the cumulative revenue is less than 1 million, the example is less than 1 million, then you can apply for claim the natural person relief, and there is no corporate tax registration also for that. But if you are not sure, then you can register for the corporate tax and get the SBR relief, small business relief, because less than 3 million, again the relief is there. But in the small business relief and the natural person relief, I will plan one session dedicated only for this. That is, I'm planning end of February, because mostly people are working on the returns. But in the end of Feb or the first week of March, there will be a dedicated session. There we will learn how to apply for the SBR relief and submit the return also. Then Mohsen Ali, I have humble, we are professional to understand, communicate in English. It will be this other mode of language is okay, that we will see down the line. We will come to that also. We already noted this point. Now there is the natural person threshold for taxable income of 3 million or no. See, natural person threshold is 1 million, not 3 million. 3 million for the to get the benefit of small business relief. Natural person, this now already I'm highlighting the natural person relief. To take the relief, even you go for natural person, apply for corporate tax registration, they will ask what is the revenue. If you mention the 1 million, they will not proceed for the registration also. If the more than 1 million, you have to give the some information, then you will get the registered also. But here the important part, you have to accumulate, consolidate all the income of the natural person then you will be able to take the relief. So entertainment, we already answer. Husband, wife, there is a question, legal, but discuss about the benchmarking. The one more point was there. I just want to count. Yeah. Uh, Tax consider some are we are issuing benchmarking for related party benefits, especially for director. See, this studies as of now, as I already mentioned, this study we can prepare based on the industry, but mostly this study, if we say the listed company, the data will be available. But as a part of the new tax regime, data is not available. So we have to justify, we have to prepare, first you have to prepare yourself, okay, maybe the directors or the employee or the owner or shareholder, what are the activities he is performing on behalf of the company. So mostly the small companies, they are bringing the business also because they have the contract, they are will be part of the business. So they are active. So and there's the skills also, if they are qualified and they have the same expertise and the same experience in the same field. So the comparatively this benchmark, if we are discussing the benchmark, yes, such things will give you edge, okay, to justify this much salary is a why we are paying this much salary, because he's a specialist and he have the experience, so he's supporting and business in terms of business, in terms of sales, in terms of technical. So yes, down the line we will have some studies and we'll discuss that also. But as of now, overall framework, each business they have to do based on the size, based on the skills level, their own analysis. But you cannot issue as a benchmark as a consultant. You might give the guideline based on business to business, industry to industry. By reviewing the case, you can share the guideline. I believe most of the kindly and legal person also discuss about the benchmark of the that we already discussed. Okay, guys, thank you very much for your participation. Okay, there is another question. Is there last question for today? Natural person, if our revenue is 1.5 million, net profit is see if you're a natural person, your revenue is 1.5 million, you can go for the small business relief. Because here do not mix with the profit. The profit threshold is a different. That is the tax slab. That is the tax slab. The first taxable profit will be on the 375. In the first session, we discussed the tax rate slab. Please go that and understand that. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Iskar. You can take care and hope you manage that. The recording part also.